Oi, gente, tudo bom? Eu sou o Diego do Startupi. Você deve saber isso se você já está assistindo, né? Eu tô aqui no espaço da Aceleratech. Tinha conversado há pouco com o Pedro Weingartner, que é professor, investidor, empreendedor, e também ele é um dos avaliadores do Webby Awards, uma competição que seleciona as melhores coisas da web desde 96, 1996. E também acabei conversando com o Steve, que é o produtor executivo do Web Awards, que está no Brasil, acho que já pela quarta vez que ele está aqui. E vamos falar um pouquinho com ele. Hi, Steve, please meet our audience. uh, Steve, when a winner wins the Webby Awards, they go on stage in New York and they only get 5 words. So I'm giving you 5 words. Do you want those to be in Portuguese or in English from you?
I think in Portuguese. Let me try my best. All right. So 5 words. All right.
Those didn't count because they were 4 already.
Right, here we go. Desculpa-me, no falo portuguese.
Wow! So you won it. Well, really, you got like different categories that you would expect Brazilians to submit.
I mean, we had some really good success from Brazilian companies last year, mostly in advertising because it's a obviously strong part of the industry here. But I think in terms of content, I think there's great startups, there's great mobile apps, there's a lot of comedy online that from Brazil, like Portes de Fundos and things like that. So yeah, I expect to see more Brazilian entries. It's growing every year. And I think that you should try to win a Webby. I think it's good to have Brazilians at the show and on stage, and even deliver 5 words in Portuguese or English, however you like. Yeah.
I know many people who watch us are entrepreneurs, developers, and they do some cool user interface, design and everything else. But sometimes they are worried about the service, the online service they are giving to people, and the business it becomes. Do you look at the business side or only at the interface side? What are, I mean, if you could wrap up some of the most important criteria.
Yeah, the criteria for Webby, it depends on the type of entry that it is. So, for instance, something like in the viral category, really should be viral. If it has 2,000 views, it really didn't succeed as something that's viral. But generally speaking, we have a number of criteria for the Webbies. Creativity is a very important one. Execution is a really important one. If a judge goes to a website and there's 2 minutes of loading time, probably isn't built as efficient as it should be. So I think that we don't necessarily judge Webbies on effectiveness. It's not a marketing award. It really is about a great idea. It's about executing that idea, and it's about the way that people react to that really great digital idea, and just knowing what works in the digital space. That's really the important thing about a Webby award. We've had winners that are huge companies like Spotify and Facebook, and we've had brand new things that are incredible and just coming up and that people are really in love with. The big thing about the Webby, though, is that the jury picks an award, but the public also gets to pick as well. So you can win a Webby if the judges pick, and then we have 5 nominees in every category, and then the public gets to vote on those 5. So sometimes it's the same thing. Most of the time, it's a very different thing. So that's a fun part of the Webby Awards, too.
I think I'm submitting this to bouncing video interviews. Do you have that category? Besides Pedro, do you have other judges from Brazil? How many judges from Brazil? How many judges in the world? And do Brazilians only judge Brazilian projects, and Brazilian projects are only judged by Brazilian judges?
No, actually, the judges get to judge everything that's in there. Really, what we try to do is um, link them to a category that they're interested in. That's the most important thing. We want people to judge work that they know, that professionally they may be making themselves, that kind of stuff. So if it's online film and video, we'd like to get a producer or a director to judge those type of things. If it's interactive advertising, we get people that are in the advertising industry to judge those things. If it's websites, if it's mobile, we have people that build websites, build apps, things like that, and that are in charge of companies that do those things. Um, the Brazilian judges right now, I believe it's about 50 or so, 50, 60 people. I'm not quite sure, but it's growing every year. We're here in Brazil to meet people and to bring them into the academy. they won't be judging just Brazilian things. I think they'll be judging some Brazilian things, but it just, however randomly it comes up in the judging. Right now, the Academy has about 2,500 people. So we're growing it. It used to be when I started at the Webbies, it's probably about 400 people. So it's growing very, very fast. And it's something that, we want to be very international. We want it to be a really strong presence, female presence, because I think a lot in this industry is very male dominated. So we're doing our best to sort of make it a very sort of even experience, 50% men and women. And we want people that are very senior in the industry, but also people that only have a few years experience, that sort of understand how the internet works. That's the most important thing. For me, it's just a matter of people being engaged by the work and judging something that they're in love with. And that makes for a better judging always.
All finalists get a free trip to New York for the party.
No, no. Winners are invited to the party. It's a winners only. We've established very early on that a room filled with 80% of people who found out that they lost is not a good party. So just the winners get to come to the Webby Awards every year in New York.
The majority of winners in the past, looking back, is North American, or you get a lot of Brazilian, Europeans, or Asians winning as well.
Yeah, I mean, when the Webby started, it was almost exclusively a U.S. thing 19 years ago. And, over the years, especially last year, the gap between U.S. winners and international winners is closing. There were more international winners last year than any year before. It keeps going up every year. Winners from the United States, obviously, but plenty from Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, Brazil, Japan, Sweden, France, the Netherlands, Germany, all do very strongly at the Webby Awards. So
That's great. Well, thanks for sharing, and have a good hand picking, guys. I hope some are Brazilians in the end. Thank you, Steve. Have a good time in São Paulo.
thank you for having me. Obrigado.